You probably remember all those videos on social media about software engineers playing ping pong at the office and making crazy high salaries.
How much do you make?
My base salary is like about 200.
205,000.
200,000.
191K.
These software engineers were working for 4 hours a day and rolling out of bed by 12 p.m. They were working from their couches while watching TV. Life was good. And here's the thing. I bought into this hype too, as a tech gal. I made day in the life videos. I interviewed and landed a job in big tech. I really believed this was the solution for everyone. The problem was, things eventually changed. In 2022, the introduction of AI swept the industry by storm, and that, among other factors, became the catalyst for the start of layoffs.
Cutbacks begins.
3,000 layoffs, or about 15% of its workforce.
11,000 people laid off at Meta alone.
Unemployment at 3.7% is near a 50-year low.
So why was it so easy to fool the internet into thinking that this was a one-size-fits-all job? Why did we push everyone into software engineering, which inevitably caused its own doom? Well, let's take a second to talk about social media, aka tech bros, and how this killed critical thinking. The tech industry wasn't always like this. The original software engineers were much different. They were the type of people that had learned to code from a really young age, building games on their PCs at home and just taking an interest in computers in general. I say that because computers weren't really a thing back in the 1990s and 2000s. Back then, the internet was the Wild West, and most people that were helping to build it were diehard programming geeks.
What is the Facebook exactly?
It's an online directory that connects people through universities and colleges through their social networks there.
Let me show you something.
Yeah, okay,
here.
what?
Okay.
Huh? Wow, cool. Make that fly. Let me see that thing fly. Wow!
It was a new concept at the time, really only reserved for the stereotypical internet fanatics that were drawn to building games or just creating clever ways to solve problems quickly. Throughout the 2000s and 2010s, the demand for software engineers exploded. Mobile phones were the hottest new thing, with plenty of on-demand mobile apps that people wanted to use. Everything from the earliest form of social media to computer games, entire banking systems, and even company websites could be accessed on the internet. It was a golden era for tech. And it was also a time that new content creators started to rave about new technology online. Creators like iJustine were doing Apple reviews when the newest iPhone came out.
I'm here at the Apple store in Santa Monica. I believe I've made a video here before. Well, guess what? I'm making another one. There is actually a line outside right now for iPhones.
And a very young MKBHD was commenting on the latest software updates from Microsoft.
Microsoft, from what I've heard, is considering releasing an upgrade for previous Windows Vista users for $50. If that is the case, I will be upgrading to Windows 7 instantly, no doubt about it.
This was the earliest form of creators influencing kids about how exciting new technology could be. Soon, having tech wasn't seen as uncool or reserved for the ultra-geeky outliers. It was becoming more and more normal to upgrade to a smartphone, have a personal laptop, and even stay up to date on the latest tech. But how did we switch from people wanting new technology to people wanting to build new technology? But before we get into that, here's a quick word from our sponsor. Security is becoming increasingly important for engineers, but knowing where to start can be confusing. That's why our sponsor, Sneak, is hosting a free Capture the Flag one-on-one workshop on November 13th for students that are just starting their careers. If you're new to Capture the Flag or CTF competitions, they're fun, hands-on security challenges that simulate real-world security challenges. It's one of the best ways to learn about cybersecurity while building real skills that really help your resume stand out. During the event, you'll get an inside look at how CTFs help you develop practical skills and explore vulnerabilities engineers encounter in real-world code. It's free and it's virtual, so don't miss out. It's a great opportunity. Sign up for free by clicking on this link, and it'll actually be in the description below too. So what are you waiting for? And now, back to the video. Well, it was around this time that the term FANG was coined by investor Jim Cramer, because of some companies, big tech companies, having exponential growth in the market, and with increasing demand for new tech from the everyday consumer, as well as uncapped exponential market growth, there was a huge need for developers to support and create innovative new products. And in order to recruit these people, companies like Google and Amazon started to change the game. Now it was fun to go to the office. You had games, a slide, massages, free food, campus events. The biggest kicker was the insane compensation packages. They were unheard of, except for with doctors and lawyers. $200,000, $300,000, and even $500,000 total compensation packages, left and right. It wasn't uncommon at this point to meet a software engineer that could be a millionaire. This leads us to the infamous tech bro era, because who wouldn't want to show the world their amazing new gig with amazing pay? You know exactly what I'm talking about. And again, I was part of this. Software engineers in tech started talking about how amazing it was to do their job. They were so in demand that they could ask for anything.
So I was able to negotiate my starting bonus to $40,000.
Okay. They had flexible hours, high pay, low stress, and even the digital nomad movement was kind of taking off. But that wasn't enough to tip the scales. With the bootcamp movement, now you didn't even have to go to college. You were making more money than some people that even got their bachelor's, master's, or doctorate. You didn't even have to finish a 4-year degree. If you learn how to code, someone will hire you. And that's when the tech bros ate this up. It was the weapon they needed to convince people to get into software engineering. Big tech didn't even need to market themselves anymore. It had become one of the most coveted lifestyles. Everyone wanted to work in tech. And then COVID hit.
China has identified the cause of the mysterious new virus.
Coronavirus.
Not only did COVID put into perspective the amount of stress that healthcare workers were under, but it further magnified how easy it was to be a software engineer when a once-in-a-lifetime virus plagues the entire world. Instead of hurting the software engineering industry, it actually ended up helping it. People now had the luxury of working from home. They also worked on really impactful products and services that were propelled online. And this didn't stop influencers from showing off their comfortable lives. Instead, more and more tech bros started popping up. In fact, you couldn't even keep track of them anymore. But there was one big issue with all of this. What happens when the demand for software engineers skyrockets and suddenly everyone is pushing you to jump into tech, whether you're a good fit or not? Well, you get the opposite effect. Suddenly, we had way too many people that knew how to code, and not enough jobs available for everyone. What was once a gap in the industry was now a surplus.
But why didn't we see this coming? Why didn't we predict this tech bubble popping as it grew and grew in front of our very eyes? Part of that reason was blindly accepting influencers' take on being a software engineer.
These tech bros with their charismatic online presence painted an alluring picture of the software engineering world. They showcased luxurious lifestyles, high salaries, and the freedom that came with remote work. Catchy phrases like learn to code and unlock financial freedom, or escape the 9-to-5 grind went viral, captivating a generation eager for change. Many of these creators shared personal success stories, emphasizing their rapid ascent from being a novice to an expert just in a few months. They positioned going to boot camps as the golden ticket to success, downplaying the challenges of the industry. Basically, the mantra, if I can do it, so can you, became commonplace, encouraging millions to jump into coding without a clear understanding of the realities. As AI technology advanced, the demand for entry-level developers began to decrease. Companies only started to look for people with advanced degrees, leading to a harsh reality check for many aspiring coders that were told differently. Suddenly, the oversaturation of job applicants meant that bootcamp graduates, once seen as valuable assets, found themselves competing against people that were way more overqualified than them. So after all of this happened, some influencers tried to address these concerns. They told followers to keep trying and honing their skills and continue to just keep networking. But unfortunately, the damage had already been done. The narrative of easy success had created unrealistic expectations for everyone, and many people felt betrayed. The aftermath saw rising unemployment rates among recent graduates and a growing sense of disillusionment. The tech bubble, once inflated by hype and optimism, had burst, leaving a generation scrambling for direction. Employers, meanwhile, shifted their focus back to traditional qualifications, leaving bootcamp graduates feeling undervalued. As we look back, it's clear that the allure of quick success in tech, fueled by influencers, created a wave of hope amongst aspiring software engineers that eventually crashed. The tech industry, while it still has a lot of opportunity, is not the same as it once was. Hopefully, the expectations have been unmasked and the challenges have been shown, and the actual challenges of becoming a software engineer are a little bit more clear than they used to be as well. So as long as you use critical thinking and have a critical eye, recognizing that while coding can be a pathway to a fulfilling career, it's not a guaranteed ticket to an easy life.